came out with a renewed sense of purpose against DePaul and just shattered the Blue Demons. And granted, DePaul working through some things right now. But a good start here is Tamira Poindexter, who struggled with her shot away from Manhattan last week in Vegas, hits an opening three-pointer, and we're off and running.
Yeah, that's a big shot. She was just 1 of 7 versus DePaul, had 11 points, but you could see already much more aggressive out front from Kansas State, and that's where they've got to set some of that tone and that pressure. You got to
difference for K-State this year. This is the first time you've watched them. The three-point shooting. Lee, fadeaway, soft touch.
Now, Duckworth is an interesting matchup, especially for Lee on the other end of the floor because she's got three-point range. So if you're Central Arkansas, you got to figure out a way to move Ioka Lee out of the middle of the lane. That's going to be from move.
Here in the early going, the Wildcats schedule among the better in the Big 12, second toughest so far in the conference. Poindexter, another corner three, and another one in. Lee, you can hear the audible calling for the ball. Glenn finds her from the top and a timeout early. Sides, let's go a long three. Nothing but net. Sides has really zoned in.
Getting her feet set, being able to extend the defense, it adds an extra bonus when you can be a ball handler and a scorer.
Taylor to the floor to get the steal, finds Sundell up ahead. Poindexter. Another chance for Sides. She got another one.
For this Kansas State backcourt.
Two-time 3A Kansas Player of the Year from Phillipsburg and Central Kansas. And Sides growing into her role as the backup and instant sort of mopping one as an alley-oop. It comes late, and it lands with Taylor, who puts it up and in.
Yeah, broken play. Kennedy Taylor running the floor to get herself a mop-up and a putback, but they looked for the alley-oop, kind of seeing if they couldn't get the lob to mop, and not there. And it was a late decision by Sundell.
Third steal already for Walker. She'll miss the layup. Sundell to clean it up. Lead team, the Wildcats. A dominant first quarter. And a running layup put up and in. Wildcats a little bit shorter than they normally are in their rotation. Walker, another steal, yes, 4 in the first quarter for Walker. This time she converts.
Able to cook one of those young players coming into the Central Arkansas roster where you see so much experience, but yet the struggle right now is to be able to handle the pressure and the activity of this.
On a switch, Fisher being guarded by Lester. Glenn having to decide to defend inside on Banks. And Banks will muscle it up and in.
11 and 5 in the ASUN.
Good touch pass by Lester on to Sundell, who hits the three at the end of the shot clock.
Possession and point for point. I need you to rebound, defend, and be a great passer without turning it over.
Jalen Glenn pours it into the three. Boy, the Nets are scorching hot here today. The men's basketball team, the early part of the doubleheader for Jerome Tang, hit 21 three-pointers, second most in K-State history in a game, and scored 120 points. The Wildcat women off to a fantastic start, although an answer banked in three by Bree Stevens, and that is the first. Hedge on the screen means Lester guarding right. She'll miss it, mopping the board.
We talk about defense from your post players who come in and make the transition.
Taylor into the game for K-State. Right. Jump shot over Sundell won't go. K-State wants to keep the tempo up. In transition Sides, shovels to Glenn. Sundell, perfect, still from the field, has 14 in the first half. Love the game of Sundell and how it might translate to the next level. Jalen Glenn in transition. Tony Kemper's burned 2 timeouts. He's going to have to use another as this Wildcat women's team on a switch. Maupin guarding out high on Kemp. Three-pointer drilled by Duckworth. Special significance there if you get a shot clock violation, but Maupin showing off the athleticism on the drive.
One dribble and finish, but that's a great decision by putting players in different spots today. They're going to have a great opportunity to do that in the second half as well.
Poindexter left wide open at the top of the circle. That's usually a mistake, and she hits another three-pointer on the road. That'll be another chance for K-State to show their mettle against another good opponent. And not necessarily what they were a couple of years ago, but still a solid team from the SEC. Sides off the screen, pure. Here's Glenn. Back to Sides. Good shot fake for a fourth. In and out. Back in.
This Kansas State defense has not allowed her any good looks.
Taylor into the paint. And another one that nearly rimmed out but falls. Taylor with 4 points. Nearing the end of the third quarter, under a minute to play. Corner three with Lee running at you. That's a tough shot. Sides a pull-up three in transition. Number 5!
It's confidence right now from the sophomore, and you can see it. She was able to vision what was in front of her.
Working her way into the paint, lost the ball. Lee's going to shoot about a free throw line jumper. Got it off the back iron. No, facing the basket, then away from the, or posting it, the basket. Good finish by Wright on the other end.
Kind of getting a full head of steam to be able to go at the defense. And that's where that high-low action that Jeff Mitty likes to run with his post players can come to be a benefit for someone like Lester, or even Eliza Maupin, who we saw go one dribble in that first half and finish at the rim. Either way, you're going to get those touches, and you got to find a way to finish and clean up misses and be active on the glass, where you don't necessarily have to be patient. Impatience is one thing you see all across the country, but to have young players come in, be willing to soak it up, to be able to learn, we're 90-some% of your, and that's just a heads-up play, then to attack.
Stevens didn't catch it clean. That allowed Lester to recover, get the block.
It's kind of a log jam of those teams at the top. Two still undefeated, TCU and West Virginia 8-0. And we'll see where West Virginia is after they take on Texas tonight. Certain opponents, that's going to be a big factor here over the course of the next 4 to 5 days.
Upshaw, free in the lane, 6 points.
Hey, thanks, Brian. Missy, you mentioned it, that Fisher was the Atlantic Sun Conference 6th Woman of the Year. A year ago, head coach Tony Kemper says she's earned that starting spot. He said she's a leader.
I saw a shot of Ayoka Lee on the bench. Lee will finish the day with 12 points. So that means the record watch will move to one more game. We'll turn our attention to Eastern Illinois on Tuesday.
Also in the American Athletic Conference, now you're going up against some Power 4 teams each and every time out. That not always is that level of scoring going to translate. I wouldn't look for Poindexter to be a 20-point scorer this season. She's going to need to be 8, 10, 12.
Right. Two guys that know each other pretty well, Jeff Mitty and Tony Kemper. As the final seconds tick off, K-State puts the final touches on this one, winning it 86-39. They're now 7-1 on the season.